Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Quetzalcoatl kicks everybody's ass.
Hell yeah. That would have been tight. Unfortunately, it is Greek mythology, but a Mexican Percy Jackson would rule.
What would his name be?
Pedrito Jimenez y los dioses Azteca would be fire, dog. I'm not
I
gonna
would
lie.
watch that. I mean, Zeus turned into a bull, and as a bull, the lady. And as a swan, another lady.
Run, chamaco. Córrele, pero. Esta la verga, güey. What I think is what made this series good is that welcome to List. This is a show where we pluck out a name out of our watch list, watch it and review for review and pleasure. The series that we're tackling today is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Demigod Percy Jackson leads a quest across America to prevent a war among Olympian gods.
Quetzalcoatl kicks everybody's ass.
Hell yeah. That would have been tight. Unfortunately, it is Greek mythology, but a Mexican Percy Jackson would rule.
What would his name be?
Pedrito Jimenez. Pedrito Jimenez y los dioses Azteca would be fire, dog. I'm not
I
gonna
would
lie.
watch that.
I'm not gonna lie.
That sounds some Paramount type crap.
Hey, Disney, you want to put Mexican stuff on your on your streaming platform? Let's go. I think I speak for most of us. We enjoyed the two movies back in the day. You know, they were pretty cool YA movies for our young adult selves back in the day.
Yeah, I think we were fans of some things.
I was about to say fan is a bit too strong of a word, but then you said the some things. I know what some things you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're fans to this day.
To this day! To this day!
They didn't go that deep, but it's okay.
When we saw this trailer, I was like feeling old because it felt like it wasn't for me. And I remember saying this to you. It felt a little kiddie, but good word of mouth made me watch it. Not only from Felix, he told me it was getting good, but also the internet was telling me that this was actually very good. So always good word of mouth is going to push people who are on the fence to watch your property.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I started watching it because I remembered reading the book, and I thought, hey, let's see if it's going to stay true to the book as opposed to the movies.
Well, yeah, this is based off Rick Riordan's book series. There are a total of 17 books in the in the Percy Jackson universe.
I thought it was going to be like 6.
No, but this is spread across 3 different series. So there's the original Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. That alone is 6 books. He then later spin off other stuff.
I'll take the first 6 for starters.
Yeah, and if you don't know much about it, they basically blend a lot of Greek mythology with 21st century stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like low fantasy type stuff. Like everything takes place in our world.
My expectations for it were mid. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, even with pretty decent reviews going in. Mm-hmm. And right off the bat, I'm going to say it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
For me, it's like I have a positive view on this series. There were some details that I do not remember because I remember I read the first 2 books 15 years ago. So I remembered some things, and others I was like, I'm iffy in the details, but you know what? Screw it. I'm liking it. I liked it a lot, to the point where I was excited to watch each episode.
The kiddie/young adult aspect of it is still very much there. It is a Disney product, of course, but there's still a lot of fun stuff that keep me engaged and kept me honestly just giving a shit, really, which is really what any show wants you to do as an audience. You want to give it. I wanted to know where they were going with all these stuff and these tasks and these quests that he has to go along, and the characters and the Greek mythology is really what's pulling me in, because they keep adding a couple gods per episode, and then this monster, and then this god, and then they're all related, and it's a giant mess, and this guy with this guy, and that's just really what pulled me in, along with some drama. But if you're on the fence, give it a shot. It's not a bad time.
Oh yeah, but don't try to compare it with the movie, because the characters are like 12 and 13 years old, and the movies are like 16, 17. I'm like, oh, okay. I forgot that.
Rick Riordan, who is the creator of the series, really, really did not like the fact that they made the characters in the movie older. And if he was going to do this, he made it a point that Percy and the gang have to be 12 years old.
Oh, so he was not a fan.
No, because they did whatever they always do is they go, oh, you made this? Oh, cool. Gimme. Now go away. I'll do it. That's what they did for the movies. So we're going to get into it a little bit deeper episode by episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments if you've seen the series, if you're from the books, if you're from the series, the movies, anything at all. Let us know all things Percy Jackson down in the comments. I was a little iffy on a female bully, right? But it made sense by how weak they made Percy look, you know?
They make you not expect what he's going to do.
By using the bullies, they set him up and where he's at correctly, you know? He's weak. He don't have confidence. He don't have friends. They did all that in the beginning very well.
I mean, they also did that in the Adam Project, the exact same thing.
Yeah, it is the same kid from the Adam Project, so he already had experience in that.
I was laughing my ass off.
I will say I was not a fan of any of the CGI. That did not look great at all.
Oh, no. No. There was some things that I thought were CGI, but they were practical.
Yeah.
But yeah, the CGI is not good.
Like that first transformation, I did not like at all.
The teacher, the math teacher?
Yeah, it did not look. It looked foul. It looked messy. It looked super fake. You know.
CW.
Yeah, CW vibes. A lot of it. There's probably one thing that I did like the CGI for a creature per se. You know.
Well, the Chimera.
El Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
It looked pretty cool, but you could still tell that it's like fake as hell. But that, I mean, I get it.
Oh yeah, you have to have a lot of suspension of disbelief to like really buy into it. But I was like, you know what? I'll look past this because I know this is not like a high budget series. So I was like, whatever. Let's do this. Let's go balls deep into this ride.
Yeah, like that's how good it is. That the CGI didn't bother me as much, but I have to notice it. It's you have to note it because it's not fantastic.
Watching the movies, I was not a fan of Annabeth's casting.
Okay.
But that went away pretty quick.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of fans were bitching about her because she doesn't look like the character. You already said that you're a fan of two books, right? I didn't read a single page. And yeah, you're going from Alexander Daddario to this young lady, Leah Jeffries. She did a fairly good job. Again, Rodian said that she was casted not because of her looks, but because of her talent. And I guess I can buy that. She was pretty good. She was believable is what I'm trying to say. She didn't steal the series. She's not overshadowing anybody. She served her purpose, which is pretty good.
Yeah, she did a good job.
The douchebag stepdad was funny.
I mean, there was a reason for that, but I found it hilarious because in the book, I remember hating that son of a. But in here, I like hate him, but it's laughing at it.
Right, you're an adult now. You're like, okay, you ass. It's just it was interesting.
Like, oh my car.
So the whole story about Percy is that he's a dirty mudblood, bruh.
Filthy little mudblood.
There's a whole set of rules being that type of being in that world.
From the very first episode, you could like really feel Percy's mama's love. I thought she was great.
For me, she is the MVP because
oh really?
Yeah, I mean, I felt every scene she was in, and on the down low, I was like, God damn,
she was giving me Kirsten Dunst vibes.
Yep,
a little bit,
very much.
But yeah, you can feel her love. Like she cared. Like as a single mother, all those struggles. I liked her. I thought she was great.
And there was a scene that, I felt it, and it really broke my heart. I was like, oh my God.
And like in true Disney property, she dies.
Yep.
They killed her mom.
Episode 1.
We might get into slight spoil, so hopefully you've seen the series by now so we can talk really. But yeah, that was one where you're like, okay, will they or won't they bring her back? Is she really dead? Because the way she, the whole hints that they did with it, I think they did a good job there. Because I was, me, I'm trying to decipher and trying to figure stuff out before that happens. The show really had me on my toes on that aspect, But then they tell you pretty quickly that she can be saved. Like this first episode is a very good episode. Like they set everything up. They give you the info of who, what, where, and why, and when. And they do it so fast and concise that the first episode really hooks you, I think.
And it did not feel rushed.
No, everything took its time to simmer when it was supposed to. A little bit too long that I'll talk about towards the end. But my question is, why do we love stuff with schools, trainings, houses, that kind of stuff? Is it like
Harry Potter, bruh?
I was thinking X-Men. I was thinking,
I mean, yeah,
going to camp and learning stuff from a different world where we don't belong is all,
we grew up on this thing. X-Men, Harry Potter. Remember that camp about the fat kids? I love that movie.
The overweights or something like that. It could be basic tribalism, because each god has a house and all this other stuff. Like the world building with outside of our world in the Percy Jackson world, I think was really good.
Yeah, it is consistent and it follows his own rules. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, and that's a lot to say now because a lot of things we watch today don't follow their own damn rules.
Oh, hell no. Even the god stuff affects normal people. Like, for example, the casino, I was like, oh, that is a very interesting thing.
But it's true, though. You walk into a casino and then you don't know how long time passed and you're like, whoa, what the hell? Especially in Vegas.
Suddenly 2 weeks have passed and you're like, whoa.
So oddly enough, in this other world, he also has another girl bully at camp. I didn't really get what her problem was. She was weak. Like she was just jealous because he took down the big ass toro. Is that really what it is?
She's kind of complicated because she's Ares' daughter.
Right. But then the plant that they used to like involve her in the end turns out to be not true. So then she was just being a dick for being a dick.
She's kind of like the head honcho of the thing. So obviously in the books, they kind of develop that character even more. When Percy comes in and kills the bull, he gets all the spotlight. They're like, oh, now he's one of the big three sons or whatever.
He's taking her shine.
That happens even more in the second book. That's the book where we delve deeper in that character. So this is the setup for that story.
Yeah, because they kind of used her as like a
scapegoat.
Yeah, scapegoat for something, and like you want to blame everything on her, but then it's like it's not really her. So then why is she acting like that? I kind of wish they went a little bit deeper on that. And again, the second episode is a great season setup. We get the quest. We get to figure out what the hell's going on. So the story basically is that someone stole the Master Bolt from Zeus, which they blame Percy for. Percy is the son of Poseidon, which is going to launch an all-out war between Zeus and Poseidon. And they're blaming this god, and this other god gets involved in demons, and it's a mess all over. So monsters are also chasing after Percy in the real world. Then he gets into trouble, and the police are chasing after him. So he's running all over. And he meets monsters along the way, like Medusa, who I thought she looked Latina, and then I Googled who she was, and she's really not.
Really? I thought she was Latina.
She did. It was giving me Latina vibes, but she's not.
No, but I think Medusa as a character is not like this big bad monster. I mean, she is.
Yeah.
But she carries herself with such poise that I forgot she was Medusa for a minute.
I mean, I didn't. She's concealing her eyes, and everything that you know from the mythology like plays a part throughout the whole series, which I found to be really fun. I did not like that third episode because it ends with somebody I do not like. I did like Medusa. I do not like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Boo.
I forgot how that hatred started. Or not hatred, that dislike.
He's overrated. He did one good thing. Everything else is mid, and everybody's like, ah.
His best thing was that episode in How I Met Your Mother. That was peak Lin-Manuel ese pendejo.
Hamilton is what got him into the fucking game, bro. That's another thing too. Like he's like the music guy for Disney now, and I don't like that either. He feels like he has some dirt on somebody at Disney because he's in everything Disney does now.
He's got blackmailing.
See way.
You know why I did like Lin-Manuel Miranda? Because he's not a musical guy. He's just Hermes.
Oh, and here you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and here he has nothing to do with music. He's just a god who's having a good time.
Is that the best option you could have? Like, that's who?
Of course not. They could have gotten Nicolas Cage or whatever. I mean, they had Nathan Fillion in the movie.
Right. That would have been a cool shout out or something. Like,
if Nathan Fillion's going to be, ooh, I would have created my pants,
I felt like
bro.
He needed to be more dicky. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is too nice.
Well, all gods are almost all of them.
Yeah. That's the whole point of the show, that all gods suck.
They have hotter teeth than Mexican families, right?
But that's the thing I did really like, though, that there's a whole world right under our mortal noses, that they see what we can't, and they live right under our faces. And in the fourth episode is really shown with El Wow, the doggy.
Yeah.
because there's there's a lot of mess going around and we can't see it allegedly, and there's other stuff, and it plays out throughout the whole series, and I really I like that because it's an easy way and a fun way to blend both worlds together.
Yeah, that's something I thought I was not going to see because that whole sequence I forgot that happened in the books.
There is one little thing that I liked a lot, and it's so stupid. I like how they would cut to black in transitions, but the black would lasted a half a second longer than it should have. It just cuts to black, and it usually happens when something super impactful happened, right?
Oh, Simon, like a commercial break.
Yeah, but it goes like the black stays on there for a little bit longer than usual. Instead of just like a beat, this would take like a beat and a half. I don't know if anybody else noticed. I don't know if anybody else cares, but I was like, huh.
Now it clicks because I thought, oh, the episode ended, and I thought the credits were gonna roll, and I was like, no, wait.
Yeah, because it's always like, oh, like he falls into water or something happens, and then it goes into black, and they don't show you what happens, and then he's just out of the water, which they did that a little bit too much. But he would later on would explain in the series that it's like he would black out, he didn't really know what happened, so they're kind of using that to put you in his shoes a little bit. Shout outs to Adam Copeland. He was my MVP.
Who's that?
You think you know me?
Okay, my MVP is the mom.
You already said the mom, no takesy backsies.
But right after the mom,
there's no MVP number 2. I'm sorry.
No. MVP is Mama. Mama's MVP. But he's a close runner-up, bro.
I loved Adam Copeland. I grew up a wrestling fan, right? But so this 100% be biased to me, right? If you think it is, yell me down in the comments. But he's a great character. He plays a great Ares. He's wild. He's crazy. He's dangerous and scary. Also funny a little bit at the time. And he can show a little bit of heart when he has to, like when they bring up his daughter or whatever. When he's talking with Grover.
Grover.
That's a perfect sidekick name.
Yeah.
Grover. Like when he's like, they come back to the diner. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just starting fights on Twitter. He just wants to make a mess all over.
I mean, it fuels his power, but it was just hilarious being such an ass.
Yeah, he was great. I want to see Adam Copeland in more things. I know he had a part in Vikings. I know he was in other stuff, but
oh yeah,
I didn't see.
I still haven't seen that season.
He wasn't Edge. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no.
He was Ares. Like I would see him, and it's Adam Copeland, but it's Ares.
But that scene, that space they were in with the animatronic or that thing,
yeah,
that was real.
Ooh.
There's this whole set where there's the golden throne. Shouts to 40K, and there's this giant lady, and I'm like, oh, I thought that was always CGI, but no, they made the.
That's cool.
So I thought, oh, no wonder that looked pretty cool.
I thought it was real.
Yeah, and they made build a lot of sets.
Yeah, that whole amusement park set looked cool. Like a lot of sets look cool. I really like the end credit mural thing. That looks cool.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful. I really was a fan of that.
We did touch upon a little bit of Vegas. That Vegas episode was pretty fun and very, very, very true.
Yeah, the Vegas episode, it pissed me off because I got lost in it, and I was like, okay, get out.
Yeah, you get a little anxious, like, okay, you don't get stuck. The next episode, we finally meet Hades. He felt a little underwhelming to me. I would have not casted him either.
But the character was on point.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to throw no shade on Jay Duplass, but
you got Poseidon, and even though he's not like a huge dude,
he was thick, isn't he? Thick.
Yeah, oh, of course. He was thick.
Yeah.
But you feel like he's Poseidon. And when you get to see Hades, you're like, oh, he feels kind of small.
He could have been Hermes.
Oh, yes.
And then just cast somebody else as Hades. My ploy to get Miranda away from this property.
As far away as it can.
Yeah, sorry. I know there's a lot of Miranda stands, but whatever.
But his character was actually on point, and I think it's a recent memory. It's the only portrayal of Hades where he does not give a about taking Zeus's throne.
But I guess because it has the name Hades, he didn't strike any fear at all. And
no.
You need to be a little afraid of Hades. Like, hey, like, I can like mess you up right now, but I'm not going to, but I could, that kind of thing. Kind of like a tiger playing with his food kind of thing.
Yeah.
He really wasn't giving me that.
No, yeah, you do not feel any menacing aspects coming out from him.
He's just a bit underwhelming, but he serves the story. He serves his purpose. I would have just like, if you want to keep him like that, just try to cast somebody, or maybe change his dialogue. I don't know, do something to entice some sort of fear, you know, because in the last episode we meet Zeus. And I was afraid of Zeus, you know?
Oh yeah.
First of all, rest in peace, Lance Reddick. He's one that he's always been there, but now that he's gone, you're like, I miss that guy, you know?
Because you start noticing him.
Yeah,
everywhere.
That's so sad and like so fucked up by society that we are like that. He was fantastic.
And the pettiness they have, but still, that line where he was like, "My pity is letting you leave with your life," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I was like, "Leave, morro, leave! Go,
run, Ryan Reynolds,
run, Adam, run, chamaco, córrele, pero esta la verga, güey."
But I gotta say, when that moment when Zeus is gonna strike the little mocoso,
yeah,
and Poseidon defends them, I was like, oh my god, big
nice.
father, and I was like, oh,
big daddy
and
comes to
I
save
surrender.
the day. Yeah,
I noticed something, and I hope, and this is gonna be my headcanon now, Poseidon had like his lips were kind of blue. Is it maybe because he's the king of the deep? Well, my new headcanon is that Poseidon has the mouth of a drowned man. You know who I liked? Mr. D. I'm a big fan of the actor, but he embodied the character very well.
but he was just being himself again, you know, like Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah.
He played himself. He's that character in everything.
The most satirical he's ever been is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was sick. But when in watching the second movie, The Sea of Monsters, where Mr. D appears for the first time, Stanley Tucci is almost the same, just in a more suave way.
And I don't know why, right? But the super diversity works here. Like, it didn't matter that Lance Reddick is Edge's dad, you know? It never crossed my mind. I was like, hey, wait, how? Like, it didn't matter. It all felt like a giant melting pot. Maybe because they're gods?
I mean, Zeus turned into a bull, and as a bull, the lady, and as a swan, another lady.
Deep cuts of the mythology.
Yeah, and that's also bestiality.
I thought you were going to say also in the book. I was like, wait, what?
It's in the book, but it's an old book.
No, the OG book.
The OG book, yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I didn't feel any agendas, which is a rarity in Disney projects now.
I know.
I don't know if it was because of property, you know, because I mean, you are obviously a bigger fan of the property than I am. I'm like, you can change whoever, that doesn't matter, but I don't feel as protective as a property as I do for other things.
I started watching Annabeth being like the alpha in the group at first, and I was starting to get like, yo, what the oh no, wait, it makes total sense because she's the seasoned one of the bunch.
Yeah, she knows what's going on.
Percy Jackson is just the doofus.
Right, and she has a character arc. She starts to soften towards the end.
Percy hardens. So we see an arc.
He does become like this a little bit too quickly, in my opinion. Like when he's fighting Ares, he did become like okay, you had these moves in your back pocket this whole time.
It does tell you that he is a long time in camp before he goes into this mission.
Oh, it didn't feel like it in the series. It felt like it was just like the next day, and then they kind of show a little bit with like backstory when him and the other guy are like training a little bit.
So they flesh that out way more. He's in the camp for a while, where Luke is just beating his ass while teaching him. So that's where he gets the thing. But it was not communicated that well in the series.
No, that felt like they should have done like 6 months later or something like that. You know, just felt like he got to camp, he did a couple things, and the next day he's off to this, you know, giant mission because he won the capture the flag thing. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, because all of a sudden he's just like fighting Ares without dying, and I was like, whoa, that comes out of left field.
Like he masters the water, like he gets like, how do you know how to control water now, or what the hell?
Well, that is second nature almost without him knowing. So water obeys his command.
It could be because I'm watching the Avatar anime series. So,
Oh, well.
which is a sneak peek to a future list video. And then I'm like, Aang is taking forever to learn to master water. Who the fuck are you? He's the son of Poseidon. That's who he is.
Simon.
I did feel like the finale was a little bit underwhelming because like that whole episode feels like they do straighten out a couple things, but they really spend more time in like setting up the next season.
Yeah, it does.
It felt like the fight versus Ares was kind of like the last, a little bit like hurrah, like that felt more like a final battle per se than anything else. Because then he's like, like I said, they just sort things out, and it's like, all right, to the next season. It's kind of like, I wanted another,
Yeah, they could have had like maybe an episode more.
Yeah, this could have been 10 and I wouldn't have felt like it was too long at all.
They could flesh out the characters, flesh out the situation. Does not feel like it comes out of left field. The person's like a badass fighter. They make them grow a little bit slower.
Yeah, and that's a rarity for us to ask for less episodes
I know.
and something. Because, everything is 10, 12 episodes. I remember when 16 episodes were for a season, it was like a lot. It was like, God damn.
Remember the 12 episodes of Daredevil?
8 episodes is good, but it did feel like this series needed a little bit more.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
How do you think that the kid as Percy did, Walker Scobell?
He was kind of flat.
Oh,
I liked him, but I thought he was kind of flat in sometimes.
He was a fan of the books, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
But I thought he did a good job. I liked his voice. He should do like voice acting before his balls drop and he don't sound like that no more.
Le salgan pelos en el culo.
Yeah. I really liked his voice because he sounded like a young kid,
Yeah.
So he's about 15, 16 years old now. So they want to do a season per book.
Which I'm a fan of.
I'm down. Like, I really enjoyed it. I'm down for a second season. It's a good thing since, like, I was going to pass completely, and I thought they did a fairly good job. These kids grow like wild weeds, so they better, like, jump on it now because he's not going to be like, I'm 12, He's going to be like that guy from Benchwarmers.
Oh, Simon.
He's got documentation. Play ball!
Is it good?
Yes.
What do you think made it good?
I'm thinking acting. I think writing. I really like the pacing of the series. Pacing and acting. I think it's the strong thing.
Because I know that when you're reviewing stuff, it's subjective, and some people might not think it's good. It's a taste thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do the perspective thing in the beginning. You come from the books, I come from the movies, and we both think it's good. Like, out of the properties that Disney bought a while back and then that they're bringing back, including Willow, which was a show, right?
Yeah.
They did a good job with Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I think it's a little bit better than just middle of the road. Like, we're excited for a second season. We would watch a second season. It's easily bingeable. Each episode is less than an hour. What I think is what made this series good is that they finally let the creator create. The creator of the damn thing, Riordan, was heavily involved with the series.
That's what happens when you let the creator of the thing be involved.
Don't meddle, don't undermine, don't be like, no, just let them cook, right? They made the thing. Just let them do that. But they've been meddling forever, and then they're like, why didn't it work? Well, because you meddled. That's not the same thing that we buy. That's not the same thing that we want. That's not the same thing that we want in this other media. It's not as easy just to translate a book to the movie if you start changing things you start molding it so it fits the movie format. This should have been a series a long time ago, I feel like, because it's so expansive. The world is so rich. And as long as Disney lets Riordan cook, I'm down for a second season.
Oh, hell yeah.
But of course, let us know what you think down in the comments. Do you think that we're up this series' ass? We're out of our minds? Are we seeing something you don't? Anything at all, let us know down in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to always and forever, Judea.
Bye. Yo, do you know the mama's name is Virginia Cull?
No.
That's a badass name.